Hello everybody, my name is Mario, and today I wanted to talk about Steve from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, if you watch any tutorial or guide or pretty much anything like that on Steve, anything talking about the character, gameplay-wise, his tech, and all that kind of stuff, one of the common things you might see is a technique called grounded Elytra. Now, if you use Steve in training mode or anything like that, if you stand directly on the ground, just normal standing, and then you use his up B, you can see that it shoots him 2 blocks high, and then he goes into his little gliding animation thingy where he can glide and stuff. And so what grounded Elytra is a little technique where if you the way I like to do it, and the way that a lot of people say they like to do it, is you jump, and in the 3 frames of jump squat you buffer the up B and then hold directly right or left, depending on what part of the stage or where you're looking, what you're facing. Instead of him being shot 2 blocks up, he just doesn't go up and he looks directly right and then just goes completely straight, and that's on the ground. Because if you use up B in the air, then it's normal, Steve faces a direction and then flies. So this is pretty much using it in the air, but you're actually on the ground. It's really not talked about that much when you watch it in videos. It's mainly just talked about for like literally 3 seconds, and then they move on to other stuff. But there's some cool stuff you can do with it. The most common one that I see is a cool kill confirm that you can do. It's actually a very tight window for it to be a true combo, and I think it's like also character dependent and percent based. But and also it's really weird because I'll just mention this right now. On framedata.com, and if you look at Steve's hitboxes, when you use Elytra, his hitbox is just like in his neck. So if you use grounded Elytra just normally in training mode, after a while of flying in Elytra, his head starts going more forward than his neck, so the neck hitbox is just kind of like not there and stuff. And also when he starts skidding on the ground, I'm pretty sure when he starts skidding on the ground, the hitbox just goes away. So pretty much it's very weird like how far away you have to be from the opponent for it to actually hit with the hitbox and stuff, and it's pretty inconsistent. But you can do grounded Elytra and up smash for a nice little kill confirm. It's also pretty swag too if you get it, and I'm pretty sure you can also do grounded Elytra into up tilt and then some upper strings and stuff like that. So that's cool, me Mario, but why the heck are you making an entire video about grounded Elytra if those are like the only really useful stuff for it, and it's just like a pretty, really, honestly niche tech for Steve? Like, what's the point? Why are you doing this? Well, because grounded Elytra, in my opinion, is actually a very, very underrated tech for Steve that I do not see many Steve players using. Obviously, we're in online, so you're not going to see many Steve players or Steve VODs out, especially since kind of like when Steve came out, everybody, he was so popular, oh my gosh. But then when Sephiroth came out, he kind of died like a trend, and you really don't see Steve that much, like at all anymore. It's insane. You really don't see Steve. It's hard to see him anywhere really. So yeah, you don't really see Steve that much, and obviously you don't really see him in online tourneys or anything like that, at least from what I've seen. So it's kind of hard for me to say like, oh, this is underrated, because maybe I'm actually just dumb and a lot of Steve's players are using this. But from what I've seen personally, I have not seen many Steve players use grounded Elytra as much as I think it should be used. And I also just kind of want to make this as a tutorial for any Steve players that any people that just want to learn about Steve, like what he can do, gameplay, and stuff like this. And I just wanted to make a whole video about grounded Elytra because I think it's very interesting. And even if you go on YouTube and you search up stuff about Steve, you don't really find much. It's weird. At least that's just for me, as I said. But yeah, anyways, why do I think grounded Elytra is a underrated technique if the things I mentioned were very niche, like a very hard to hit, not really consistent kill confirm and stuff like that? Well, because grounded Elytra can actually be used in a lot of different situations. So the main one I like to mention is if your opponent is, let's say, at 60, 70, or 80, 90, at that kind of percent, where if you hit like a burst option dash attack, or you hit them with a fair bear, anything like, not the one with the sword, like the one with the pickaxe, like if you hit him with a hard hitting move and they go off screen or anything like that, off stage, what you can do is you can actually land grounded Elytra to the other side of the stage, because if you actually see, grounded Elytra pushes you really far. Like I don't know how many blocks specifically. I think when I was checking, it's like 11 blocks. So a pretty decent chunk of FD. It's like it can put you really far, a decent amount. And the main reason I say this is useful is because I don't think if you hit the opponent off stage, you should always do this. because from what I noticed, just from watching VOD and my own gameplay and everything like that, when a Steve player hits the opponent off stage, what they either do is, 1, go for edge guards with blocks or anything like that, just to get another hit, 2, stay on the ledge, mine, and then go for a ledge trapping scenario. But I feel like, that's why I say you shouldn't always do this, but I feel like this is a good technique and always something to keep in mind, is let's say you're at a stock disadvantage and you want to get more materials, or you just are running low on materials. What a really cool thing you can do is you hit the opponent off stage, you grounded Elytra to the other side of the stage, and boom. So I think one of the first things that comes to mind is like, how fast is this? So when testing this in training mode and everything, grounded Elytra is really fast. The Elytra in general is a really fast move, and testing it with characters like really fast characters like Roy and ZSS, who has like really fast dashes and stuff, Elytra actually outspeeds their just run in general. They are able to catch up, obviously, which is why I don't think you should use this in neutral at all, unless you're fighting like a really slow character, like you're just trying to troll with it in Incineroar, you just want to get away. But it's like really fast. It's really fast. So it's really good to get away, and it's like, I've actually used this in friendlies a lot recently when I've been playing with people. It's just really good when I'm running low on resources and stuff. So if you're running low on resources or anything like that, I think it's really smart to use this as just one of those things where you can hit them off stage and go to the other side of the stage or anything like that. And as I said before, I don't see Steve's players ever doing this, and this is like a really good thing to do, because a lot of one of the main things that Steve likes to do is he kind of likes to camp. I would like to say zone, but honestly I feel like Steve camps more than zones, TBH. So I feel like this is just such a good thing to like annoy the opponent, like, I got hit off stage, now they're going to be on the complete other side of the stage while I have to worry about recovering, and they're going to be getting so much more resources. It's really good, it's really consistent. From what I've done in friendlies, it's really, really useful. It like, you just go so far, it's insane. So I just wanted to point that out there, make a small little video about grounded Elytra. If you're a Steve player and you don't use grounded Elytra, try it as I said. Obviously I'm not saying always do this, because obviously Steve really benefits from edge guarding and he has really good ledge trapping setups and everything like that. So yeah, if you want to go for a kill, but I feel like this is really good for if you're running low on resources or if you have a stock disadvantage. That's what I think. I don't think this should be used in neutral or anything like that, but I just wanted to bring more light to grounded Elytra. I feel like this is something that should be used in matches. I'm not saying every match, as I said, I don't think this should be used all the time. This should be a core part of Steve's game plan, but I feel like this is an important thing and just something I wanted to outline and just making a video on grounded Elytra. As I said before, Steve has really died off like a trend. I feel like Steve deserves more attention. He has a lot of cool stuff, and I'm really excited for Offline to come back to find someone to play Steve and really push the Steve meta, because this character, remember people always said like, oh, Steve has so much potential, and I think people were hyping him up more than he should be, but he has a lot of cool stuff, and I'm really excited for people to notice what he has. And yeah, so thank you all for watching.